Look at this, huh? Beautiful. Welcome back to my kitchen. Hey guys, what is up? This is Cody or xCodeh. How's it going today? Today, we're gonna be making some bread. It's super simple. All you really need is a Dutch oven in like 3 hours. A lot of the tutorials on how to make bread that you see on YouTube require fancy stuff like stand mixers and waiting overnight for the dough to rise. We're gonna get a loaf with some snazzy looking bread in about 4 hours, so not that long, and in like maybe 5 minutes worth of time, and it tastes just fantastic. So let's get started. You're gonna need mixing bowl, of course. We're gonna be using 3 cups of flour. I got the King Arthur brand, all right? I think this is a little bit more fancy. You can use any kind of flour, like literally any kind. It doesn't have to be this brand. You just need flour, 3 cups of it. So other than the flour, you only need 2 things. You're gonna need some salt. I'm using kosher salt, store brand, nothing fancy. I mean, it's just salt. Is there a difference? Let me know. And then most importantly, some active dry yeast. You're gonna want 1/4 teaspoon of that and 1 teaspoon of salt. I got it measured out right here. All I have to do is put 3 cups of flour into the bowl with, you ready? And now this is most important, 1.5 cups of warm water, not above 130 Fahrenheit, or I believe that's 50 Celsius. Correction on screen if I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm right. So what I did to get this water around to the temperature I want is I set the kettle to 60 Celsius, which would be too hot, but I kind of stopped it because it's an electric kettle that has like a digital thermometer on it. So it just makes sure the water's not really super hot, not boiling hot, because it'll kill the yeast. So under 130 F, and we want 1.5 cups. And then add the salt and the yeast. Mix that up. One of these spatula things helps a lot. And you don't have to mix it for like too long. You just want to make it into basically a dough, you know. If it wasn't obvious, we are making a dough. The reason we used hot water instead of cold is it activates the yeast a little bit faster, so you only have to wait about 3 hours with it sitting on the counter. Make sure you get all the dry ingredients incorporated. We got that mixed up. Just cover it with some plastic wrap, put it on the counter for 3 hours. I'm genuinely terrible at putting plastic wrap on things. I feel like I always gotta hit it with the second layer, you know? I'll see you in 3 hours. So we're back 3 hours later, about 3.5 hours later. You can wait a little bit longer if you want. It doesn't really matter, but I got the GoPro on me. We're gonna do the only real amount of work other than mixing the stuff together and waiting 3 hours. It's really easy. You need a bread scraper. Get one of these. I think it was like $10 on Amazon. So this is what it's looking like. It probably doubled. If not, maybe I think a little less. I don't know if it doubled, but it definitely rose a little bit. So you want to take some flour, put it all over a cutting board. Don't be afraid to get messy, all right? I'm going to use this just to get it out because it's really sticky at this point. Very sticky. Take some more flour, put it over the dough like that. And with the scraper, go around the sides and just fold it on itself. So it's in a ball and you can kind of work with it. It's got flour over all of it. All right, so now that it's kind of in a ball, it's got flour all over it. Take another bowl with some parchment paper. Place the dough in there. All right, so while that's in there, put like a towel over it, just like that. So now that we have the dough in a bowl in the parchment paper with a towel over it, we're gonna preheat the oven to 450 degrees with the Dutch oven inside. The oven's preheated to 450. Let's get the oven mitts, dude. Be careful, don't burn yourself out here, all right? Listen, I can tell you one thing, the Dutch oven, it's very hot. Take the dough, place it with the parchment paper in the Dutch oven, just like that. Place it back in the oven for 30 minutes. All right, so the bread's been in the oven for 30 minutes. We're gonna take out the Dutch oven now. And look at that, dude. Just look at that. It's not done yet. I don't know why I'm taking this glove off. We're gonna need that. Take it out by the parchment paper. Put the bread back into the Dutch oven without the lid on, and then put that back into the oven for 15 minutes. The time that you put it back into the Dutch oven really just matters with how crispy you want it. Oh, that's looking beautiful. Just a work of art. Look at that. Oh man. Put it on a drying rack. Always remember to turn the oven off. And the oven light. Take a look at this, huh? Beautiful. Got a nice crust on it. Look at that. So that's how I make bread. It's really simple. I think any of you guys can do it as long as you have a Dutch oven. I think I got it for like 50 bucks on Amazon. Probably steal one from your parents, but you can make bread super easily. I'll do the calculations on screen right now of exactly how much this costs for the price that I paid for the flour, the yeast. I mean, salt, everybody's got salt. I'm not gonna add that in, but you probably have yeast too, who knows? But yeah, super easy to make. Anybody can do it. Let it cool for like a half an hour. You can just cut right into it. Use a serrated edge or just a bread knife. Hold on. You're gonna wanna use one of these knives with the serrated edge. It helps a lot. And I would really recommend letting it cool down just a little bit. There is nothing like some really nice, fresh, warm bread. Have a little patience though. It's a lot easier to cut when it's cooled down just a little bit, but yeah. Really easy to make, not a lot of ingredients, not a lot of work. So much cheaper than the grocery store. Why am I just holding this knife in my hand? Am I scaring you? Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something today. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more. Stay high, stay lifted, and stay snazzy. Peace.